Welcome to Inside Roanoke. I'm Melinda Mayo, the Communications and Media Officer for the City of Roanoke. We're here on Mill Mountain today. We're going to talk about Kids to Park Day. We're also going to learn about Story Walk and a lot more, so stay with us.
Rectangular rapid flashing beacons. We'll call them RRFBs for short. So what are they? RRFBs help pedestrians cross busy, unsignaled intersections. City of Roanoke has installed 2 of these devices, one on Dell Avenue near Fallon Park Elementary and one at 11th Street at Orange Avenue Northwest. The pedestrian presses a button and the lights begin to flash, alerting motorists that a pedestrian is about to cross. The pedestrian will then ensure that the motorist comes to a complete stop, making eye contact to confirm. Once the motorist has stopped, the pedestrian may safely cross, scanning to ensure all vehicles in all lanes have stopped. City of Roanoke wants to ensure that our citizens who travel by foot are getting where they need to go safely and efficiently. Drivers, when you see the flashing lights at these intersections, please stop and allow pedestrians to cross safely. If you follow these guidelines, we can all make Roanoke a much more walkable city.
My guest is Sheila Umberger. Sheila is the director of Roanoke Public Libraries. The libraries are doing something really interesting and cool, Story Walk. Talk about what that is. What is a Story Walk?
Yes, it was an idea we had, and we had a beautiful week last week weather-wise. So basically, it's a storybook, a book that you basically deconstruct and put on like boards, storyboards, large signs, and you can space it out in a space, and families can walk along and read the book that way. In our particular case, we felt like this was a really good project for what's going on, you know, for families to have and we decided to make it traveling. Sometimes people will make a permanent frame for things, but in our case, we decided to make it traveling. So it's traveling from all the parks and Rec, and also all libraries and 15 schools. So we have a schedule for it.
So you have a schedule for when it will be where and all that.
Right, and also the next thing we thought about was which book do we highlight. So during this year, we've been able to find a donor to fund a new edition of the Roanoke Baby Book, and that's a book that we distribute to Carilion, to every child born at Carilion. Right. And we now have a bilingual version of that book. It's in Spanish and English, and so the Life Ring Foundation has funded that, and we're really excited about that. So we felt like that was also a good way for us to highlight the new book.
Great.
Yeah.
So anyone can come, right? You just walk up and participate. And you mentioned that book. Will there be other books displayed besides the baby book? Yes,
we're going to start with this book. The next book that we have planned is, let me see if I can say this correctly, it's 4 Fur Feet.
Okay.
So Margaret Wise Brown was a graduate of Hollins University and back in the last century, and she wrote Goodnight Moon. And so she's like very well known in the preschool set, or just in general, her book. And this is an unpublished manuscript in their collection. So we had permission it's been published into a book, and with one of our other collaborative partners, Turn the Page, and they also help us distribute the baby book in the hospital. And that's our next book after the Roanoke Baby Book, and it's an adorable book about a fox who has 4 fur feet. So we can say all that at once. And the animals and stuff like that. So it's a really cute book, and it's really special on many levels because Margaret Wise Brown was very well known. She was actually a librarian and lived in New York and wrote a number of children's books, but was very well educated about early literacy. So it's really fitting that that's one of the books that we're going to be able to highlight. We're also collaborating with Parks and Rec. They're working on maybe putting some permanent like storyboard area up in Elmwood Park, and so we'll be working with them on that in hopefully the summer or the fall.
Why are we doing these events, Sheila?
Well, for us, we've continued to provide services curbside, and we've continued to look for things outside that we can do that would support our programs. And we've been pretty successful with that. Like tomorrow we're having a farmer's market that we did in the summer that was super popular. And we're planning other programs as it goes forward in some of our outdoor spaces. So the Story Walk supports a couple things. One is just a family being able to go outside, come to a park, or school children being able to go outside and enjoy a program, but also support early literacy and reading. So that's really our goal. So it kind of fulfills all of that. But again, we're really excited about the Spanish bilingual version of English and Spanish. And the Roanoke Public Library does hold the copyright on that book.
Yeah.
And you can acquire that book from any library. It's interesting, I had a person from Wisconsin contact me recently to purchase that for a graduation gift for some of her grandchildren because she's from Roanoke and they come to Roanoke a lot. So it kind of touches, there's a lot of scenes in that book that are familiar to someone from Roanoke or that has a connection to Roanoke.
Well, and how great to have something that brings families out, brings them together
Right.
with reading in mind. So that's wonderful. If somebody's watching today and they say, how can I find out more about the Story Walk? How can they get that information?
Well, we have our Facebook page and our Instagram, so we are very, all of that's on that as well as our website. And so, or they can call any library. We're open 10 to 6 Monday through Friday, doing curbside and talking to people.
It sounds like so much fun, and thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Stormwater is the water that runs off the land after precipitation, either rain or snowmelt.
With 10,000 inlets in our city, that means there are 10,000 opportunities for pollution in our streams.
Everything in our streets, sidewalks, and lawns, including oils, sediments, grass clippings, plastic trash, and much, much more, can be carried to stormwater drains by stormwater runoff. So remember, if it's in our streets, it's in our streams.
We can't do it alone. Everyone is a part of this watershed. Even small actions at work or at home can make a difference.
In the city of Roanoke, storm drains lead directly to local streams and the water is not treated. Only rain should go down the drain.
We believe in partnering with citizens to transform local waterways into community assets for those that live, work, and play in the Roanoke River watershed. Help us be part of the solution, not the pollution.
We're here on Mill Mountain, and we're going to talk with Susan Herndon Powell and also Kat Andrew about a special event that's coming up, the Outdoor Movie Inspirations Night. And what a great place to have it, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about when and where this is going to happen.
Sure, yeah, so we're going to be right up here on Mill Mountain. We've got 2 dates this spring. Our first one's going to be April 2nd, and our second one's going to be May 21st.
And what movies will you be showing?
So for the April showing, we're focusing on our hiking as our kind of our outdoor sport, and we're going to be showing The Long Start to the Journey, which is a movie about someone through hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Okay.
And then the May date, we're going to be screening Valley Uprising, which is about rock climbing, specifically in the Yosemite Valley in California. So rock climbing is kind of our focus for the May one.
And why are we doing these events? Why do it?
Yeah, so we're excited. You know, what better spot to watch a movie, right? So it's kind of a cool idea. And also we wanted to find kind of a COVID-safe way to engage our community while also supporting local organizations. And so for the first one, we're partnering with the Roanoke Appalachian Trail Club and the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. And so it's actually free to register, but we suggest folks make a donation to those organizations. And then for the May one, we're supporting a river rock climbing gym. So we thought it'd be really cool to be able to kind of support these organizations while also having a great time watching a movie up on top of the mountain.
Well, and in line with the safety issue, I know registration, people can go online and register, but you have a limit.
Exactly. So right now we have to keep our participation under 25, and so folks do need to pre-register ahead of time at playroanoke.com, and then they can come to the event, and then we'll have some safety measures in place. We'll be doing some health pre-screens. We'll be separating people, you know, keeping them distance.
Because I was going to ask, when people get here, what do they have to do to be safe?
Yeah, so we ask folks to wear a mask, and when they come here, we'll be doing a quick health pre-screen, and we'll also have folks sign a COVID waiver, and then we'll actually have people spread out, so they can bring their own chair, but we'll have kind of different areas set up for different families to kind of have their own spot to watch the movie, so we can all stay safe.
And so this is really such a wonderful idea. Are we thinking future events too? Talk about that a little.
Absolutely, we really hope to. You know, this series was really inspired by COVID and a way to get people out and it's safe. But we'd like to grow them, get them bigger, hopefully invest in a bigger screen even at some point, and be able to move them all around the city.
Anything that we haven't mentioned about it that you'd like to include?
It is limited to 25 people, so just kind of keep that in mind. I think our first date's already full, but there's a waiting list for that, and if anything changes with our limitations, we'll certainly add more spots to that. So please get on the waiting list if you didn't get a spot. And
just so people remember, it is based on the outdoors. We're not here to show like Disney movies. We're here to show stuff that has to do with the outdoors.
These are all outdoor-inspired films, and so they are mostly kind of documentary style.
Well, if somebody is watching and they want more information, how can they get it?
Sure, they can go to playroanoke.com, or they can also call our main number at 540-853-2236.
Well, I hope it's a big success. It sounds like a wonderful idea, and I might just sign up myself.
All right, sounds good. We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
In Roanoke, too many pedestrians are involved in crashes and close calls with cars. The City of Roanoke wants to remind you that by following Virginia laws, you can do your part to prevent injuries. Drivers, stop at the corner. It's the law. Pedestrians cross at the corner.
The Roanoke Police Department has some simple tips for citizens to help prevent property crimes. Always lock your car doors whenever you park. Put any purses, packages, or valuables in your trunk or cover them up. If you have an outside storage shed, remember to keep it locked. At home, make sure you have good locks on your windows and doors. The more complicated the lock, such as a deadbolt, the harder it is for someone to break into your home. For more information, call the Crime Prevention Unit at 853-5613.
The Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection's Food Pantry program is an ongoing effort to help keep pets in their homes and out of the shelter. You can help by donating the following items: canned cat and dog food, dry cat and dog food, cat litter and toys to the RCACP Food Pantry. To participate in the program, visit rcacp.org or come by 1510 Baldwin Avenue, Northeast Roanoke to get more information. Your donation can help a dog or cat stay in their home.
My guest is Greg Goodman, and Greg is the manager of Envision Center. Greg, we want you to tell us today a little bit about the center. Start with, how is it part of the Housing Authority?
Sure. So we got our designation in December of 2019, where we started services up, and we're through HUD. Our services are for the community, and we work with HUD on providing some of the services and then some of our outreach.
And how is this program different than other community programs?
So what we're looking to do is incorporate the community programs that we have and make it a one-stop shop. So we're trying to get everything kind of all in one location so that we can eliminate some of the barriers that some of our folks have been seeing.
Well, talk about some of the things that are coming up, events or activities that the Envision Center will offer to the public.
Absolutely. So we have partnerships with Virginia Career Works, TAP Housing, Virginia Western Community College. What they're going to be doing is providing resources as far as like education, training, employment services, preparing for housing. And all these are virtual, but we do have the computer labs that you see here available so that you're able to still attend even if you don't necessarily have access to a computer or can get on the internet.
So the computers here are part of the services that you offer through your center. Anything else that people need to know about?
Yeah, so the computers are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. Anyone can come in and access. All of our events are open to the entire community as well. You don't have to be RRHA resident to utilize our services, especially if like you're just interested in home ownership or you need help with employment.
Right.
You can just walk on in, we'll help you out.
Well, now we're here in the center today, but I understand there's a new Envision Center coming up. Talk about that.
Yes, ma'am. So we're really excited. Eventually we're going to be moving right across the street to the old Melrose Library. It's under construction right now, but we've got some really good things in the works. We're going to have a technology lab. We're going to have a study area. We're going to have some space set up for mental wellness. So we got a lot of good things in store over there.
And why do you think it's so beneficial to have the Envision Center close to public housing?
Transportation, easy access. A lot of times our folks have trouble, you know, getting across town where it may take you like 3-4 hours if you're riding Valley Metro. So just the ease of access.
Yeah.
And then also it eliminates a little bit of the childcare barrier. I mean, you're welcome to bring in your kids. I can meet with you with children here. It's no problem.
Greg, tell us about some of the successes you've had with Envision Center.
That's always my favorite question because it's really hard to narrow it down. Some of the really amazing things that we've seen over the last year and a half, we held a pharmacy tech class with Virginia Western at our Envision Center. We had several students go through, complete the class, and also achieve their certification and now full-time employment. So that was some really amazing stuff. We've also been providing mental wellness services with Mosaic Counseling, and we've had several clients that have come in, meeting with them, and just seeing a lot of positive change with folks that are meeting with them. So overall, there's just a lot of good things going on.
Anything we haven't covered that you'd like to say about the Envision Center? Something in addition to what we've already covered?
Just that it's open to all the community. I mean, we encourage anyone that could utilize our services to come in, utilize our services, meet with us. If we can't help you, we'll refer you to folks that can.
And if somebody was watching and wanted to get in touch with you, how can they contact you?
So our best phone number to reach me is at 983-9252, or they can just stop in. We're located at the RRHA Central Office off Salem Turnpike.
Well, we wish you a lot of success with the center, and thank you for sharing it with us.
Thanks for having me here. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Bank On Roanoke Valley announces its next round of the Bank On Financial Wellness Series, which runs from April 2021 to September 2021. The series meets virtually on the fourth Tuesday of the month from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on GoToMeeting. Classes are limited to 15 participants, and seats are filled on a first-come, first-served basis. Financial professionals will teach the workshops and empower your decision-making and financial confidence through goal setting and consistent check-ins. Participants who attend all classes and meet their financial goals are eligible to receive rewards and incentives. To learn how to enroll, contact Brandon McGinley at brandon.mcginley@roanokeva.gov or call 540-853-1120.
In Virginia, every corner is a crosswalk, whether a crosswalk is painted or not. Join us in making Roanoke a safe place for everyone. Drivers, stop at the corner. It's the law. Pedestrians cross at the corner.
I'm talking to Kate Pettigo with Roanoke Parks and Recreation, and we're here to talk about Kids to Park Day. Start by telling us what that is. What is National Kids to Park Day?
Sure. Kids to Parks Day is put on by the National Park Trust every year, and it is a day of play that is meant to connect families with their local green spaces.
And how long have we been doing that?
We've been doing it for quite some time.
Yeah.
In the past, Kids to Parks Day in Roanoke has looked like many different things. One of them being a centralized event at Wasena Park. And then a couple years ago, we transitioned to a more citywide event and took it to social media. And this year it's going to look even a little bit more different.
So when is it this year?
Sure, it's May 16th is the National Kids to Parks Day, National Day of Play.
And so our activities and the events are going to be safer because of COVID. Talk about what we're going to do this year.
Absolutely. So the plan this year actually has been kind of in the works for a while now, and it just so happens that this method of celebrating Kids to Parks Day really does work out well for keeping it safe and socially distanced and low risk when it comes to spreading the virus. We will be doing a citywide day of play that is going to be hosted on a scavenger hunt app, which means that anybody in the city can participate in any park in the city. And that way we have, well, the reason that we decided to go that route is because it's been shown, studies have shown that when communities value outdoor spaces and they value outdoor recreation and play, the kids in those communities grow up physically stronger, physically more healthy, mentally more healthy, and they end up being more successful in life. So we thought, you don't have to go to somebody else's neighborhood to celebrate this great event. You can do it in your own neighborhood. So that's why we're taking it to the citywide event that we are.
So how do you think Kids to Park Day and events like that, how do they help children and families develop that love for our parks? Talk about that a little.
Yeah, so the way that we're doing it this year, a scavenger hunt, it's self-led, so you can go to a park, you just download an app, and then the missions on that app are going to give you a chance to see your park in a new way. They will be activities that encourage stewardship. It'll be picking up trash or that sort of thing. It could be encouraging physical fitness, so doing some kind of calisthenics, creativity. There could be some kind of art projects or some kind of creative thing that you could do, as well as just like silly fun things. And so by doing this, families are empowered to get out to the parks and see it in a new way, but then they're also linked up with all the other people who are participating. And through this app, one of the things that we found that's really cool is that you do see everyone else participating. So you get to see what your neighbors and what your other, other residents of the city are doing on that same day. So that has an inspiring effect. And when you have that, you create a sense of community, and that sense of community is something we really need right now. But it also just makes you have a better sense of well-being, and then you're much more likely to come back to that park in the future and play more in the future because you have positive associations. And it's just like, it's going to be a fun day.
It helps develop and continue that love for the outdoors in the parks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we do things as a community, they make it more important to us all.
If someone was watching and they said, I want to know more about this, how can they get information?
Absolutely. Well, playroanoke.com is the best place to go. That's the Parks and Recreation website. And then after that, I would say following us on social media, if you're on social media, is another excellent way. And that's at Play Roanoke, both on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Great. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I hope we get really good participation this year.
Me too.
Thanks for sharing it with us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Stormwater is the water that runs off the land after precipitation, either rain or snowmelt.
With 10,000 inlets in our city, that means there are 10,000 opportunities for pollution in our streams.
Everything in our streets, sidewalks, and lawns, including oils, sediments, grass clippings, plastic trash, and much, much more, can be carried to stormwater drains by stormwater runoff. So remember, if it's in our streets, it's in our streams.
We can't do it alone. Everyone is a part of this watershed. Even small actions at work or at home can make a difference.
In the city of Roanoke, storm drains lead directly to local streams and the water is not treated. Only rain should go down the drain.
We believe in partnering with citizens to transform local waterways into community assets for those that live, work, and play in the Roanoke River watershed. Help us be part of the solution, not the pollution.
The Roanoke River is a beautiful natural resource we want to preserve for everyone to enjoy. A big part of that is keeping it clean. So how does all this trash get here? Well, when it rains, litter from our streets washes into the storm drain system, which leads to the river without ever being cleaned. That's right, if it's in our streets, it's in our streams. The Adopt a Street program is a great way to be part of the solution and not the pollution. Sign up today and start organizing cleanups in your neighborhood. Clean streets equals clean streams. Together, we can create a clean water legacy.
We hope you've enjoyed this month's show and we'll see you next time on Inside Roanoke.